Let's now move to Pakistan, which has been facing major heat from the international community for its constant failures at fomenting terrorism. The country has been snubbed several times in front of the international community for spreading propaganda and lies, but has still not learned its lesson. In yet another embarrassment, Islamabad's attempts to get two Indian nationals, Angara Appaji and Gobinda Patnaik, designated as terrorists under the 1267 Committee for Counter-Terrorism Sanctions of UNSC failed miserably, as the move was blocked by the United States, UK, France, Germany and Belgium. Earlier, they put a hold on the listing, demanding proofs, but Pakistan failed to furnish any evidence to back up its fabricated allegations. The move came after the New Delhi managed to get Jaish-e-Mohammed's chief Masood Azhar designated as global terrorist last year. And this is not the first time that Pakistan has resorted to false claims on international platforms. Earlier, it had conspired to get two other Indians designated as terrorists, but the attempt fell flat at that time too. To talk more on this, we are now joined by Mr. Rahul Bhosle, an expert in South Asian security issues. Mr. Bhosle, Pakistan has once again failed in its attempt to malign India's image at global level, as it could not garner the support of the international community on listing of two Indians as international terrorists. What exact situation do you see Pakistan finding itself in?
Over the years, Pakistan has been trying to deflect the attention it has gained for being the hub of global terror, an exporter of terror, not only towards India but across the world. Towards this end, it has made many attempts, including abduction of our former naval commander Kulbhushan Jadhav from Iran, getting him into the Balochistan and the tribal areas, and has sentenced him to death under false charges. Now, as we see, it has tried to do this again in the United Nations Security Council by naming two Indians as involved in terrorist attacks, and it has received a major snub. It very clearly highlights that Pakistan's attempts to portray that it is a victim of terror has been denied and not accepted by the international community.
Do you see this step as an attempt to take revenge from India against Masood Azhar's sanctioning?
There is definitely a sense one gets that this attempt by Pakistan to get two Indians to be named on the ban list by the United Nations Security Council has links with India's attempts to get Masood Azhar, the infamous terrorist leader of Jaish-e-Mohammed, banned by the United Nations Security Council. It is regrettable that a terrorist of such high disrepute as Masood Azhar has been fostered by Pakistan over the years, and now that he has been banned by the United Nations Security Council after intense efforts by India and other members who supported it, such as the United States and France. Now Pakistan has taken possibly a different stand, trying to portray that even Indians are terrorists and they are trying to export terror into Pakistan. But then this charge has been there for some time. Nobody's accepted it. International community has always been rejecting this charge.
The Pakistan government has approved a number of laws, including the United Nations Security Council Amendment Bill and the Anti-Terrorism Act Amendment, to meet the criteria by FATF. Do you think Pakistan is serious about taking actions against terrorism, or it will brush this off as a technical formality done only to keep FATF at bay, as the review is in September?
In the last few years, Pakistan has been trying hard to get it away from the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force. Recently, we find that the Pakistan National Assembly and the Senate have passed a number of bills which are related to the Financial Action Task Force. In an attempt, Pakistan is trying to get out of the grey list. Once it is, the other reason is because it is economically under very severe constraints. Even Saudi Arabia is now denying assistance to Pakistan. So it is important for it to get out of the grey list. And a number of bills have been now projected in the National Assembly. Some of them have been passed, some are still left. On the whole, however, it should be noted that despite all these efforts, Pakistan's proxy terror campaign in India and Afghanistan will continue.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bhosle, for joining us.